Oh my gosh, I am so freaking nervous. Hopefully everything's sounding okay. Hello everybody, it's so nice to finally meet everybody and be able to start streaming. My name is Lillium. I am a demon, as you can see, and I just wanted to do a quick self-introduction for my first stream and let you guys get to know me a little bit. Let's get started. So, as I said before, my name is Lillium. I will not tell you what the M stands for, but you can call me Lily, since I know Lillium is a bit of a mouthful. I am 26 years old, and I was born October 26th, so just a few days short being able to... just a few days before Halloween, unfortunately. In real life, I am a machine operator, so I do a lot of factory work. But I've wanted to do something creative for a while, so I decided to give streaming a try. I always really loved watching VTubers, and I always thought that looks really fun, so I wanted to give it a shot. But it took me a few years before I was ever able to do my first stream. My Oshi marks, I want to do a combination of pencil and bat for my bat wings, as well as bats on my tights for my model's outfit. And I mostly write using pencil, because pens always smudge too much for me, I don't know why. So I thought, pencil and bat, that seems perfect. As you can probably tell from this little heart down here, I am a lesbian. Alright. So... I like to call myself Hell's Worst Demon. Worst not meaning as evil or anything, just really bad at being a demon. So I was kicked out of hell, kicked out of corporate hell to be exact. I got in trouble for writing fanfiction about about Satan and his secretary. I am so sorry. I am so nervous. I'm stumbling over my words. But in my defense, I was commissioned to write those. I'm not going to sell out my commissioner though. And I was told I had to meet a certain quota for contracts, but that's going to be impossible for me. Every time I'm summoned, I just find some reason not to show up. Just pass on a note like, sorry, demon you're trying to call is not available. Right now, I'm just trying to enjoy the human world. So as for what I want to do while streaming, I want to do a lot of gaming. I have a lot of games that I really love. I played a lot as a kid that I don't really see much about. So I kind of wanted to share my own favorites from my childhood, like Avalon Code. Tales of the Abyss was a big one for me. I know that one's still pretty popular, but I still don't see a lot of people talking about it. Avalon Code is probably my favorite, and then also the Rune Factory series, which, oh my gosh, it's getting a new game pretty soon. I am so excited. I'm mostly going to play like cozy games, but I do want to branch out to things I normally wouldn't try. Like maybe horror games, or maybe even try my hand at shooting games, which I'm not very good at. I do love to write, so I wanted to make part of my content focused on writing. So I want to write my own original stories and fan fiction. I want to learn new skills, like being able to sing. That's one I've wanted to learn for a really long time. Excuse me. But I am pretty tone deaf. So I want to get more confident and learn how to do that. I want to learn new languages. I also want to learn how to draw. And maybe one day be able to put all those new skills to the test by making my own RPG Maker game. I have a few ideas for stories and stuff, but I'd like to be able to do everything myself, like hand draw assets, make the background music, everything like that. One other thing that I really want to do, this one's kind of silly, but I want to 100% everything I can in the Rune Factory series. I mean, finishing out the whole shipping log, marrying every character, seeing as much dialogue as I can, getting maximum friendship with all the characters, silly stuff like that. Mostly just to say, I've actually done it, I've done everything I can in Rune Factory. And here's the logs to prove it. Another thing I thought would be fun and this is another skill I'd had to learn, is video editing. But I thought it might be fun to do long videos on games I played and my thoughts on them. It's like a video review or just diving into a character and talking about how they're written and things like that. That would just be really fun. So as for things that I really like, I'm a big fan of Peeps. I actually have some giant Peep plushies named Alexander the Gay and Male Wife. I bought them at the grocery store a couple years back. They both have like a rainbow pattern, and I remember putting them in my cart, going through the checkout. Somebody said, "Oh, you're really using your tax refund for that, huh?" And I'm like, no, this is just how I live. I'm just that into Peeps. I was so tempted this year to get another one, but I somehow resisted. Another thing I really like is Otome games, and I also really love Yuri manga. I actually have been collecting a lot of my favorite Yuri manga, and my bookshelf's kind of getting a little out of control. I probably need to sort that out soon. And honestly, I am so excited to hear about all the new anime adaptations that are coming out. There are so many. It is so exciting to hear about, because you don't really see Yuri getting as much attention as BL and other things, so it's just really cool to see. As I said before, I really like cozy games. I also like things where you collect things or manage resources. I've always really liked magical girl anime. I've noticed recently that I do have a weird thing for 2D old men. Most notably Hijikata from Golden Kamuy. I have a huge sweet tooth, and I love candy corn, and I have 2 adorable cats. Things I dislike, I really don't like bugs' bellies. So like when you flip them over and you see their stomach, I hate that. It gives me the creeps. I don't know why. I really struggle with playing games that have underwater levels. The thing like Kingdom Hearts with the Little Mermaid part, I really didn't like that. I don't know why those make me kind of nauseous. I'm really bad with jump scares and gory things. I don't really like the texture of yarn and microfiber. And if there's one thing I'd have to say I'm really scared of that's kind of ridiculous, it would be these things called boobas. So when I was a kid, there was a library, educational show I liked to watch. And I remember waiting at the TV to watch it, and I think either episode had been delayed or it already finished up, and then the show came on. It was supposed to be like a exercise show for really, really little kids. I remember the little puppet characters freaked me out so bad. I am still kind of freaked out by them as an adult. As for my hobbies, I really like writing fanfiction, making my own OCs. I read a lot of manga. I do watch a couple of VTubers as well. I haven't had as much time as I'd like to watch my favorite streamers as of lately, but I've been trying to go back and watch their VODs and catch up on everything I've missed in the past year and a half where I've been working 6 days a week. I really like baking. Actually, yesterday I made stromboli, I think is how it's pronounced. And the crust, that came out perfect. It got a really good rise, and the bake was super crunchy and perfectly risen. It was so good. I am so proud of that because I'm not usually a bread person. I don't really like the process of kneading, but very, very proud of how that came out. And right here, this is just a little excerpt of a fanfic I was writing, this really silly one. A silly Inuyasha fanfic where everybody's reincarnated, only Sesshomaru remembers everything. And he's reunited with everybody. They don't remember their past life, only he does. It just makes him act like a little bit of an edgelord. It's just a really silly thing, because I like making fun of really stoic characters like that. And as I mentioned, I want to write a lot of fanfiction on here. So I'm actually waiting on the invite email for a new archive of our own account dedicated to the stories I write on here. So those will be available to go back and read. I can see how many typos I made while on stream, things like that. Alrighty. So I had a really hard time narrowing down my favorite anime and manga. More manga because I read a lot. It's one thing I do a lot when I have free time is I just binge read. So if I had to point out a few that I really love, here's Golden Kamuy. The final season is going to be coming out at some point. We haven't really heard a lot of news about it. I am so excited to see how this story ends. Characters are all really well written. The story's interesting. You see a lot of this culture that you normally don't really see much of. And I really love the cozy wind down moments as well as the action moments. Shuko Charo is a childhood favorite of mine, and I really love the Fruits Basket reboot. Machiko Madoka is a huge favorite of mine. Another one I'd like to point out is She Loves to Cook and She Loves to Eat. I don't see a lot of people talking about it as much anymore, but that is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Yuri manga. I love the way it tackles subjects like misogyny, the subtle erasure that a lot of queer people feel, and it tackles so many issues that are just a part of normal life, and you don't really see a lot of things these things being addressed in a lot of other series. And the characters are well written, the art is beautiful. It features a larger sized woman, but it doesn't make fun of her weight or anything. Like, I love this series so much. Like, I know I'm stumbling a lot through trying to explain why, but I promise you it is so worth the read. Especially if you like Yuri manga, but you're looking for something that's not, based on high school, or with high school age characters. These are stories about these adults living their lives and coming to terms with their identity and the different things they're struggling with, as well as their relationships with food. And I just think that's a really beautiful story. Another one I really love is One Room Happiness. It is a really heavy story though, so definitely if you're gonna read it, look up the trigger warnings, make sure it's something that you feel comfortable reading. But it is a really heartwarming found family story. Not really heartwarming, but more bittersweet. I loved the characters. There were points where it genuinely made me cry. And I really wish a lot more people would give it a chance, because I know there was a while there where people thought it was a romance, so a lot of people didn't want to give it a try. They thought it was a problematic romance, but I swear it is a really good found family instead. And it is really heavy, but I think it is a really good story. For my favorite games, the top 3 right here are my top favorite Tome games. There's Code Realize, were some of my first Tome games. Hakuoki was probably my first, but Code Realize is the one that made me really think that, oh my gosh, I really love Otome games. Cafe Enchant is a really cozy one. Collar Malice, my absolute favorite. Odin Sphere is one I like to play on stream because it is so beautiful. All of Vanillaware games are pretty beautiful, but Odin Sphere to me, the characters, the voicing, the music, everything is just so gorgeous. The story is interesting, and I love the way that these individual characters, their stories all come together to form this long, complete tale. And you can actually see it through flowcharts. It is really beautiful, and I'd really love to share it someday. Tales of the Abyss was one that I played when I was a kid, but I still have a lot of fondness for. It was actually a game my sister and I bonded over a lot when we played it together as a kid, And it just... I still love it a lot to this day. I wish I was a little better at playing it, because usually I just play with Luke and I just bash things with a sword until they die, which isn't a very good strategy. Avalon Code is one of my absolute favorite games. So it's not talked about as much, because I know it did have its issues. And I can see why a lot of people who played it might not have liked it that much. But for me, I feel like it was really unique. It had really good music. Character designs were really interesting. And I like the way that knowledge in that game is power. Each thing you record gives you more to work with. And there's very limited resources in how you're making all your tools, the different codes, and you learn more about people. And the more you learn, the higher level your book goes up, so you have more space to work with on your grid. And I just think that's a really interesting game. I would love to see it redone. I'd love to see, you know, more detailed character models, because I know it was released on the DS. So I know now with, like, consoles like the Switch and things, we could have a lot more detailed character models. They could work with some of the issues. Switch even has touchscreen, so I think that would still work really well with a divided screen. So I genuinely would love to see it come back. And to see people giving it a try. Maybe they can work out some of the small issues with it. And, you know, it would get a lot more love than it gets now. Honestly, it's a game that's so very close to my heart, and I play it almost every year. Almost every year I will go back and I will replay it. Because it just... Nothing really hits me the same way as Avalon Code does. I can play it again and again and again. I'll learn more things, and I'll be able to play it a completely different way than I did before. I think that is just so cool. Especially for a game that I've been playing since I was a kid. And I play it every year and I still learn something new. That's amazing. So I'd really love to see it make a revival. Also, about Avalon Code, I've already thought about it. If I ever do go into cosplaying, the main character, the female main character, that is the one character I want to definitely cosplay above anybody else. Like, she is so cute. And I would love to be able to make the book prophecy, have like all the different pages filled out. Maybe the little character arts done by different artists. I have so many ideas for that. And I just really love that series. And I would love to be able to share it with more people. You've already heard me talk about it a lot, but I do love the Rune Factory series. I got my first copy of Rune Factory from my mom. It was a Rune Factory 1. Absolutely fell in love with it. I was already a big fan of Harvest Moon, because we played... It was one of the Harvest Moon games, I believe it was on the PS1, but it was Prince of Mineral Town. So I knew that I really liked the farming, I really liked the cozy life sim, I liked going through the day-by-day routine. So when I found found out about Rune Factory, I got hooked on that. Had fighting monsters, capturing monsters, forging weapons, making accessories, things like that, and I fell absolutely in love with it. And it is a series that's still going strong to this day. I know Rune Factory 5 had a lot of mixed reviews. Personally, I do have my own gripes with it, but I thought it was an okay game. And we're expecting a new game, Guardians of Ozma, which is a spin-off game. That is going to be coming out this year, in just a couple months actually, and I am so excited to play it. It's going to be the first one that is fully voiced as far as I know. The characters look beautiful, the story looks interesting, they're introducing whole new weapons. Earth dancers are completely new to the series, it's always been Earth mates. So I'm really excited to see where they go with that. When I was a kid, I also got really into the Disgaea series. I haven't played all of them. I haven't played 4 in particular, and I never finished 6. I believe I finished 5. But honestly, none of them have really... I haven't liked one as much as one for a very long time. And it's a really fun series. And the characters are really, really close to my heart. Like, I think I still have one of my old emails I still use as one of the characters' names in it. I really love that game. And I'd honestly love to play it on a stream as well. Additionally, the only card game I've really ever gotten into is Duel Masters. I've always played a Darkness deck. Mostly I like having the blockers and having the Slayers as well. Because when you fight anything with the Slayer, no matter, even if they're stronger than you, you take yourselves out. Like, you die, they die. I think that's really cool. Honestly, Duel Masters is a really fun game. I'd love to see if there's any way I could stream anything related to it. I know that it's not really well known anymore. Cards are really hard to come by. I'd have to find some way to do it digitally. And a newer game that I've been really into is Unicorn Overlord. That is another Vanillaware game, just like Odin Sphere. The character art's beautiful. There's so many characters, so it's actually hard to keep track of them all. And if there's one thing you're gonna see in Vanillaware games, it is gorgeous food. Like, stunning. And honestly, it was so fun. It was really different from what I'm used to with Odin Sphere, where it's more, you go up to things and you beat it with your skills and your weapons. Unicorn Overlord was more of a strategy game. I thought was really fun. I do wish there was a little bit more control in it, but I thought it was a really fun game. So these are some of the songs I've been listening to lately. They aren't, not all of them are like my favorite songs, but they're ones I really enjoy. There's two in particular I want to point out. One of them is Barrios Wonder Peak. That is her first original song. She just released it, and it is so good. Highly recommend you give it a listen. And then there's Da 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 Tenchi. Probably mispronounced that. Really sorry about that. That song is about a no good angel, or just angel is not very good at her job. That is a song that actually was my main inspiration for my Vtuber character. My Vtuber character is a no good demon. So that song, I listened to that, and that's where I immediately got the idea. I thought that was so cute. I ended up commissioning this model, writing the whole story and everything, just based on that one song. It's one I really, really love. I know it got really popular. There was a whole live VTuber, Aqua, who covered it, and it got really popular. So if you haven't heard it before, I'd definitely give it a listen. It's a really cute song. So these are just my goals for in the future. So right now I'm just trying to see if I like streaming. This is something completely new to me. I have a lot of anxiety, so I don't know if it's something that I'm going to end up enjoying long term. But it's something I wanted to give a try at least. So some of my goals is I want to be confident enough to do at least one karaoke stream. I'd love, like I've mentioned before, to be able to 100% everything I can on a Rune Factory game and be able to stream all that progress. I want to get at least one more person to give my favorite games a try. So like Avalon Code, if you haven't played Tales of the Abyss before, oh my gosh, if you haven't played Tales of the Abyss before, I'd love to see, somebody else give it a try after seeing it and think, oh, this game's really fun. Because I don't see a lot of people talking about those games anymore. I'd really love to see those games get a lot more love and appreciation. I know Tales of the Abyss is probably one of the more popular games from my childhood, but Avalon Code in particular, I'd love to see somebody just give it a shot. I know it's pretty hard because the games are really expensive. I want to finish an original character story on stream, so I want to do like my own original story with original characters and be able to write it from start to finish on stream. Like, not maybe all in one day, but like over time. I thought that would be really cool. Or maybe I could finish a set of short stories on stream. And I think one thing I would like to do, if I end up really liking streaming and sticking around with this, if I finish those stories on stream, I'd really like to have them be able to edit them up, maybe off stream, and get them ready to like release and have it available for free to people who've, you know, been watching the progress, so they can go back and read it and have that available as an actual book. I just think that would be really neat. A really big lasting reminder of everything I did while I was streaming. And if I leave it in the future, I'll still have that as a huge reminder. I think I mentioned just a few minutes ago that I have really bad anxiety. I do really struggle with socializing. I'm hoping this kind of helps bring me out of my shell a little bit. And over the course of doing this, I'd have more confidence to be able to make new friends. Like, if I can only meet one new person throughout doing this and be able to make one new friend, I would be so very happy. So that's where the making a new friend and getting better at talking to others is going to be a big priority for me. If I'm talking about a subscriber goal, this seems pretty impossible, but before I ever stop streaming, if I end up sticking around with it, like I said, I would really like to get 1,000 subscribers. Like, that is way off in the future, of course, but it's something I'd really like to do before I stop streaming one day. Is just be able to say that 1,000 people watched or subscribed to my channel. I just think that would be really cool. I'm not really expecting that to happen, to be honest, but I think it would be a really, really awesome thing if it did. So there's a few things I really wanted to bring up. If I continue streaming, this is probably something that's going to come up a lot. I have really bad wrist pains. I don't know if you can hear it. Every time I move my wrist, it pops and I get really bad pain throughout my hand and sometimes throughout my arm. So due to that, I might take breaks in the middle of stream. If I can, I'll probably just chat for a little bit. If it's really bad, I'll probably just put it on a be right back screen, go take something for the pain, like some ibuprofen or something like that, or cut the stream a little short. Because of that, using keyboard is a little tough for me. So a lot of times, if I'm playing a game, I'm probably going to be playing something that supports Xbox controller. I'm so sorry, I'm stumbling over my words right now. So I'd want to, play something I can use controller for, mostly for my own comfort and to make things easier. And because of that pain, and because I'm so new to this, I get really nervous. My streams may be pretty short. I'm not aiming to go a couple hours streaming, just like maybe 30 minutes to an hour at most. And I am new to this, so there's probably gonna be a lot of scuff. I know my Vtuber model, the tracking is probably really weird. I haven't figured that quite out yet. And stream times and days may be inconsistent because I do have a full-time job, and sometimes I might have to stay over for extra training, or I'll be going in extra hours. I can't guarantee that I'll be streaming every day of a certain week, or that I'll always be streaming on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, anything like that. So if I do decide to stream, I'll probably be pretty quick notice. I'll probably just post it on Twitter, like, hey, I'm planning on streaming this time, this game, a day or two from now, that kind of thing. So I won't be able to make any long-term schedules or anything. So, yeah. I'm sorry, I just trailed off there. I'm so nervous. This is so bad. So, like I said, maybe really inconsistent. I'm probably going to be streaming mostly weekday nights, because that's when I have off from work. but I can't guarantee that I'll always stream once a week or have like a consistent schedule. Finally, I wanted to give credit to the creators behind everything you're seeing on my screen right now. So my overlay and the Be Right Back screens, everything like that, that was made by Spooky Sony. They have a Etsy shop, where I got these, and they also have a Twitter. Their overlays and their screens, they are gorgeous. Huge fan. They also had a stream widget. Unfortunately, it worked for Twitch, so I wasn't able to put it on here, but it matches this overlay and it is so cute. Highly recommend everything they had listed, especially for the chat widget. It was so easy to read through the instructions and figure out how to set everything up. And I highly recommend them. If you're looking for overlays or screens, they're a great source to go through. The background music you're hearing right now, that is from Stream Cafe. I have the credits down in the description as well. But the particular song is Macarons for 2, I believe. The stinger animation, I don't know if y'all already saw that, but it was made by SugarStreamfly on Etsy. I really love it. I think it's so cute. And my model, as you can see, super cute. This model was made by Wafflecaramel agency. They're on Etsy and Instagram. I gotta say, working with them was wonderful. They are so kind. They helped me figure out my design and everything from the beginning. I came to them with like, here's my idea. All I have, unfortunately, is just like a couple images and some words to kind of describe the vibe I'm going for. And they worked with me. They were really, really fast. They got back to me with a sketch within just a couple days. We finalized some of the details. And there are a few things they did that I didn't think about that I really love. Like this tooth. I was originally thinking of a whole mouthful of fangs. But then they added this goofy little tooth. And I am so in love with it. Like, it is so goofy. I love it. Like, anytime a character has that kind of itsy bitsy little fang. Just a single itsy bitty little fang. That always tells me that they're gonna be I'm either not gonna like them at all, or they're gonna be super cute, and I'm always gonna be like looking out for that little fang. Then the horns, I thought was a really cute touch. I was originally imagining, on the side of the head, like lamb horns. But then they came back to me with the sketch, and I absolutely fell in love with this. I love how they curl around the head rather than the side. So they kind of curl up like a little halo, which I think is so perfect for an incompetent demon. Like a demon who's not good at being a demon, even their horns grew in wrong. I think that's so cute, and I want to show you like the full model in a second. But they did the art and the rigging, and honestly, I am so in love with how my model came out. They were really easy to work with. They were super quick. When I did have some small issues with the details, they got back to me like right away, and we got everything revised. They were super polite. They were fast, polite, and they were just overall wonderful to work with. So if you're looking for a model, I definitely recommend them. They were very affordable. They were super kind, and overall, they were just a great artist to work with. I haven't seen too many other models out there made by them, but all of their designs I'm seeing on their shop, they look absolutely adorable. So definitely recommend checking them out. They also do art commissions. So I want to go ahead and show you guys my full model. So give me 1 second. I'll pop you over to BRB screen while I get that pulled up real quick. Alright, hi, I'm back. Alright, so I just wanted to take a second to show off my full model because I am so in love with how it looks. So first you have the big long braid. I love that you can still see a bit of it down here. That is so cute. I really love that. I love how the tail goes from black down to red to the end. I love the wings. I love that they move. I really love this dress. I think it's so cute. It's really simple, but it's really cute. And I think the gray and the black really makes the red in the eyes and the eye makeup really pop. Like, oh, my head. Like, look at her eyes. They're so cute. I love the slits in the eyes. I love the little fang. And the toggles I thought were really cute. Hold on. I forgot my keyboard was turned off. I'm so sorry. I'm so new to this. And I have no idea what I'm doing right now. So here's the sad toggle. I think it's really cute. I really struggle with facial expressions, so I really appreciate having these toggles. I do wish mouth moved when I had these on, but no, I'm not too worried about it. Back to smiling, happy, little fang out. Shocked face. So see the little fang right there. It's so cute. Yeah. And then, probably my absolute favorite, this was an extra that I added or requested, and I'm so happy with it. It's the blushing face. Look how cute. Oh my god, I'm so in love with this one. I love the super goofy full face blush, the little tooth hanging out of the wiggly mouth. I love it so much. There's my employee badge. Look, little bats on my tights. Aren't these so cute? I was kind of worried at first having this bat aesthetic might make it look like more of a vampire design, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. Regardless, because look at them, they're so cute. And the shoes, I think, are adorable. I love the little straps up here. I am just so in love with how this model came out. And I love the gloves so much. So, while she might not be super colorful, I really love my model. And I highly recommend working with Wafflecaramel for models, artwork, anything like that. They were so wonderful to work with, and I cannot recommend them enough. Alright, well that's all I really had to say. I just wanted to pop in here and do a quick self-introduction. Before I started streaming for real, I was going to play a game, but I honestly have a bit of a headache, so I'd really like to go lay down instead. Also, my heart's racing. I think I should probably calm down a little bit before I do anything else. But I think next week, I'll have to figure out times and days. I'm thinking next week I can stream again and we'll play a game called Storyteller. From what I can see, it gives you prompts. You have to make the story yourself. I think that's going to be really fun. Thank you so much for showing up. I really appreciate it. Have a good night. Bye-bye.